visit of Prime Minister, Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen and President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have received Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, and this is the first visit for Prime Minister of Denmark. And also yesterday, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli received Danish counterpart Mette Frederiksen at Cairo International Airport. The Danish Prime Minister, it's the first visit to Egypt and coincides with the celebration of the 65th anniversary of the diplomatic ties between Denmark and Egypt. Upon her arrival, an official reception was held for the Danish Premier and the accompanying delegation. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli and Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen later held talks tackling the bilateral relations and means of boosting economic cooperation, as well as issues of mutual concern. To shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phono with Ambassador Raouf Saad, Egypt's former ambassador to European Union and Moscow and former assistant to Foreign Minister. Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Ambassador Raouf.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Well, sir, could you give us your insight concerning this is the first visit that the Danish Prime Minister visits Egypt, celebrating also the 65th anniversary of the bilateral relations, diplomatic ties between the two countries. Give us an idea about this, please.
Well, this is one of them very important visits, particularly in view of the following points. Why? That this is not only the first visit of the Prime Minister, the Danish Prime Minister, but also because this is a new government. So it's very important that, you know, the new government's establishment coincides with the 65th anniversary of the
Yes, thank you very much, Your Excellency, Ambassador Raouf Saad. We're going now on live coverage, ladies and gentlemen, for presidential coverage as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi meets the Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen.
تفضلوا استريحوا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most gracious.
دولة السيدة ميتا فريدريكسن.
Welcome to Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen. Ladies and gentlemen, please let me to welcome Her Majesty and Excellency and your accompanying delegation. And with the celebration of the 65th anniversary of the exchange between diplomatic ties between the two countries, and we sincerely appreciate the protocol and the memorandum that we have encountered in our speech today and our discussion throughout the both delegations. We have talked with the Denmark government and the Danish Prime Minister in various fields that we could cooperate, and we have to seize the opportunity of the good location, geographical location of Egypt that will let us to cooperate in transportation and marine transportation specifically. I'm talking about to provide all the facilities for the Danish companies in Egypt which had real experience in this field. Also, we tackled in the new renewable energy that we are talking about the hydrogen and to advance the economic cooperation and
ارتباطاً
Environment
بما
Corporation.
جهد مصر عملته في استقبالها لمؤتمر المناخ في
And
COP
also
27
we
في شرم
have
الشيخ.
organized and
أيضاً
hosted
تحدثنا مع
COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh,
فخامة
and we
رئيسة
had
الوزراء في
talked
موضوعات
with
كثيرة
the
منها
Danish Prime
موضوعات حقوق
Minister,
الإنسان.
Mette Frederiksen,
وهنا
about the
تحدثنا
human rights.
بصراحة عن رؤيتنا
Frankly
في
speaking,
مصر
that
إلى
in
هذا الموضوع
Egypt,
المهم.
this is
إحنا
really
حريصين
one of
جداً
the
جداً إن إحنا
top
في كل
essential
مناسبة نتكلم فيه مع
and most
أصدقائنا
important
الأوروبيين
topics
على
that
إن
we
إحنا
could
لنا رؤية مهمة جدا جدا
speak
بنطرحها
with
في
our foreign
في
counterparts,
استشراف رؤيتنا في مجال
and
حقوق
how is it
الإنسان في مصر
important
والتي
to
تعتمد على
supervise
تطوير
all the human
والاهتمام
rights
بحياة
fields in
الإنسان في
Egypt
كافة المجالات
in
المختلفة
in
ودي
various
طبعا طبقا
fields as well.
للمعايير اللي حطها
And we have to adhere by all the criteria by the international institutions and organizations, and we found memorandum and total understanding that we could appreciate by the Prime Minister,
أنا بسجله دلوقتي.
and which I'm recording
أيضاً
this.
تحدثنا على موضوعات خاصة
We had talked about private
منطقتنا
topics in our area and region, especially to find solutions for the undocumented immigration as well. Actually, that we tackle this situation from September 27th, and we have to acknowledge that no Egyptian immigrant traveled via marine or via sea overseas without legal immigration.
لهجرة غير شرعية إلى أوروبا.
And we couldn't provide any crossing to illegal
وأنا بقول هنا بتستضيف عشان دي نقطة
immigration to Europe.
ما بنذكرش أبدا كلمة لاجئ عندنا في مصر.
Actually, we do not have refugees. Egypt
دون أن تتلقى ولا تحاول أن
is taking care of 6 million refugees in Egypt without taking any something in return from any other country.
أو طبقا للواقع الصعب اللي هم جايين منه.
When the difficult situation that they face in their home countries,
بنقول إن إحنا إذا كنا عايزين نحل
they faced the turmoils in their countries. However, Egypt was the country to host and take care of them. And we have real situations and issues that we could talk about. How to could find a solution for this crisis and these dilemmas, and how to find the stability to organize these countries who are in turmoil. And we do not make any crossing to Europe, and to help the stability of these states and regions. We should find a solution
أو المواطنين من إفريقيا إلى أوروبا أملاً في مستقبل أفضل وحياة
to help moving people from Africa to Europe, and how they immigrate, how we could provide job opportunities in the African nations. This is really quite important situation that we could face in the African countries. Other thing that we could talk about that to find a solution and quick solutions without interfering with the issues of other countries, and how it is important to find a solution for the Ukrainian war in order to reduce the tension between all the countries in Europe. Actually, that impacted all the countries, even in Africa, in our region, and the whole world. And I talked how we put an end for this war in order to avoid any repercussions that could, in the light of the current crisis in the whole world. Actually, we talk about the dirt and how the Renaissance Dam could impact, how we could find a solution or a legal, a committed deal with the Ethiopian counterparts. It's been 10 years with exerted efforts and to take care, to find a solution for this crisis in order to negotiate of this great issue. we could understand the current situation in Ethiopia. However, we could understand what could happen in the future that will not impact our relations and especially will not impact the Egyptian citizen benefit. Actually, the most drought country in the world is Egypt, unfortunately. It couldn't stand any shortage of water, especially nowadays and any particular time. It's not only through the Nile River, but throughout the thousands of years that there is a dam. Whether it is we have a lot of water or scarce water, but we take only a portion and it's not changed throughout history. So what was important for us to find a legal committed deal with our Ethiopian counterparts. I talked about the Danish Prime Minister that we could make the best use of her presence in Egypt nowadays, how we could find a solutions in order to create a solution for the sea water. And I would like to welcome the Prime Minister of Denmark, and we really would like that we get to receive you the full and provided a very good official reception ceremony that was held for you and your accompanying delegation, and thank you for attending this press conference.
Let me start by thanking His Excellency President Sisi for inviting me to come to this beautiful country of Egypt. It is a pleasure to be here, and it has been a very fruitful discussion between the two of us and between the two
مثمرة بيننا وبين الوفدين. وكما يعلم الجميع فنحن نتقابل في وقت عصيب يواجه فيه العالم العديد من التحديات، ولكننا تبحثنا من أجل إيجاد حلول لتغير المناخ والطاقة الخضراء في هذا العالم غير المستقر. وأود أن أؤكد أنني أعتبر مصر كشريك قوي للدنمارك ولأوروبا، والشراكات بين مصر والأقاليم المجاورة هي مهمة في ظل التحديات العالمية. كذلك فإن الشراكة طويلة الأمد فإنها يجب أن تنبني على حوار يستند إلى الاحترام كما كان حوارنا اليوم، كما أننا كذلك الحوار كان مثمر فيما يخص القضايا الخاصة بالطاقة والهجرة غير الشرعية والتحديات العالمية التي نواجهها، والتزامنا المشترك نحو مستقبل مستدام لكل الأجيال القادمة وللشباب في مصر وفي أفريقيا وفي العالم. أود أولا أن أهنئ مصر على الاستضافة الناجحة لقمة كوب 27، وأود أن أشكر السيد الرئيس على مشاركته الشخصية في مسألة تغير المناخ والتحول نحو الطاقة الخضراء. هذا كان دور قوي وضروري بالنسبة لنا الجميع. الهجرة هي من التحديات المشتركة الأخرى التي نواجهها، وأنتم كبلد شريك مهم بالنسبة للاتحاد الأوروبي في هذه المسألة، ويسعدني التعاون القوي مع مصر فيما يخص السيطرة على الحدود وكذلك
cooperation with Egypt. Actually, we have talked about the refugees and taking care of them in Egypt.
حينما يتعلق الأمر بتهريب البشر، وهذا
and was very important for the Egyptian countries and the Egyptian government.
الوضع السياسي الحالي،
and we have found the coincidence and the consequences of the Ukraine-Russian war that had been impacted not only the region or Europe, but whole world. And also we got problems and crises regarding the power, energy, and even food security. So we have witnessed the time in the world right now that we are facing these economic and Ukrainian war that which has been increased and impacted the trade and transportation and how to clear the power and energy. I know you are rich energy, rich country in raw materials and energy. So not only you're providing for the whole your country, but you're providing for the whole world. Thank you for playing a great role model in your region, and also we would like to enhance our cooperation in various industries and various fields like the green hydrogen, and its cooperation between the two countries, that it's a country in the northern Africa, and how to find a strong relations between our Egyptian counterparts, and how to strengthen these advanced economic cooperation. And the strong partnership with Egypt, and also to find a sustainable solutions, especially in politics, economy, trade, transportation for both countries. I would like to thank you for inviting me to this wonderful country, and appreciate your partnership, Mr. President. Throughout the history, we have been a great partner to Egypt, and this time, regarding my visit, is coincident the 65th anniversary between our relations, and I would like to let you know that our relations become more stronger. Thank you. Become stronger. I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. President.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have held a joint press conference with the Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, and during the press conference, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi welcomed the Danish Prime Minister in her first visit to Egypt, marking the 65th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between Egypt and Denmark. And the President Sisi said that they discussed various fields of cooperation, and they tackled means of cooperation in green hydrogen, and that they also spoke about human rights in Egypt, which is one of the priorities of Egypt. He also said that they spoke about also the migration and facing this problem. The President also said that Egypt is hosting and taking care of around 6 million refugees without taking anything in return, and is treating the refugees as if they are Egyptians, and they are living among the Egyptians, not living in separate camps or something. Also, the President said that they spoke about investment in Egypt and Africa, and also about the Renaissance Dam and the problem facing Egypt from this dam, and also they spoke about many fields. For her part, the Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said that it's a tough time that the whole world is facing with the war in Ukraine, Egypt, and said that Egypt is rich with raw materials and energy, and that's why Denmark would like to cooperate with Egypt in this fields, and that Egypt is playing a role model pivotal and significant role in the region, and that Denmark would like to cooperate with Egypt in the field of green hydrogen, and thanked very much President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Egypt for hosting her in the 65th anniversary of the diplomatic ties between Egypt and Denmark. And with this, we come to the end of this coverage for the time. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Please stay for more updates and the top stories coming up on Nile TV International.